Alright guys, welcome back to another video in Scientific Rankings. In this video, I want to talk about responsive design, what it is, and why you absolutely must be using this on your money sites. So you don't know already, responsive design is basically a design of a website that automatically resizes the width of your screen, whether you're on a mobile, whether you're on a tablet, or whether you're on a laptop or computer or whatever else. The easiest way to explain it to you guys is literally just to hop on a website and just show you how it works. So let me do exactly that. If I exit out of this presentation now, and I got this website open here, and you can see this website here, it's fit full width on my screen right now. It doesn't have to be full width, but in this example it is. And if I start resizing it, you'll see it's still full width. Everything just adjusts to fit in the screen. So we have these images here, and watch what happens when I start resizing it smaller. And the images are getting smaller and smaller, but it's still staying in the same place. And then voila, like we got so small now that this is probably around tablet size. And now everything still fits, it just adjusted. So rather than these fins, if we open it a little bit wider now, they go next to each other. If we make it a little bit smaller now, they start appearing, they start cascading, like displaying one above each other, below each other. So this is what responsive design is, and we make it all the way down to mobile sort of size now, really small down here. You can see the mobile number appears, or the phone number appears at the bottom, and still everything works. I don't need to scroll sideways, and everything still remains nice and big to view. If I make this small like this, it looks better, more like a mobile. And you can scroll down this page, and it still works perfectly fine. I'm not sure how well you guys can see this because it's like a tiny area of my screen, unless you full screen the video. But basically, it resizes automatically to fit the screen that you're on. So guys, the reason this is really important is because of what the big update that happened not too long ago as I'm creating this video that everyone called Mobile Armageddon, where they said that Google is no longer going to rank sites that aren't mobile friendly for mobile devices. So if you go on your phone and you search for something, if your website isn't mobile friendly, your website isn't going to rank as well as a website that is mobile friendly. And this triggered like a lot of people chatting about this, a lot of fear about people getting mobile sites ready, a lot of people selling, they can use the opportunity to sell to businesses on mobile friendly websites and all that sort of stuff. I still don't think it's hugely important, but it's just silly not to, because there's so much traffic these days that are on mobile. At least for my clients, I know that most of their visitors are on mobile devices, not on computers. So it just makes sense to have a mobile friendly site. Like, you should really do this anyway, just for conversion reasons, if nothing else. But I definitely think it does help when people are searching on mobile devices, so I recommend you doing this. There is different ways of doing this. So you don't need to have responsive design. You can have a mobile friendly site. You could build up a site that's just for mobiles that people get shown if you're on a mobile device. But I recommend having a responsive design. First is because they're just awesome. They're really beautiful that it just automatically resizes, and it's easier and better to code it, and it's more like future proof. You're not building separate sites out. It's the exact same site, it just automatically resizes. So there's a tool you can use, the checklist by Google, and let me just show you what it is right now. So if I open this up and full screen now, let's see if Google's site is mobile friendly. I see, you can see it is here, guys, and if I stretch it out, it fits the full width screen again, but it's a super simple page. And if I check that site we were just on, which was this, and it'll give you guys a good example of how this works, and type in the website URL, analyzing, and let's see how mobile friendly this site is. And you can do the exact same with any of your websites, and it tells you how mobile friendly it is, what needs to be fixed, and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty simple, and I'm just talking now just to fill the time while this little progress bar completes. But basically, like, that sort of design where it automatically resizes is responsive. And if it loaded a completely separate website, which is not really common today, most WordPress themes are already responsive, so you don't need to worry about it. But if you're not using WordPress for any reason, or you're using some sort of old-fashioned theme that doesn't have responsive functionality built in, I recommend changing your theme, or just hiring a designer or whatever to make you a responsive design. It's just much better. You can have separate mobile websites where it'd be like a completely different website, a completely different theme just for mobile devices, but I recommend having the exact same theme that automatically resizes. It's just a better way of doing it. It's a more future-proof way of doing it. So now you can see the results here. It says awesome. This page is mobile friendly. How Googlebot sees the page, because it strips out the images and stuff, that's not really something to worry about. And it says a temporary error occurred, but it doesn't really matter. But it says that this page is mobile friendly. If you put in the site that isn't mobile friendly, which can't think of any off the top of my head, then it will give you different feedback and it'll tell you whether it is or not. But basically, this is an easy tool to tell whether or not your site is mobile friendly. And that's all there is to it in this video, guys. It's just make sure you're using responsive themes. If you use a site like themeforest.net, which I put a link to below this video, then they have dozens and dozens or hundreds, probably thousands of themes you can purchase. They're all responsive, or at least almost all of them. And yeah, just make sure you're using it on your sites. It's much better for usability, it's much better for ranking for mobile devices, and it's just a good idea in general. So get that set up. That's about it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.